Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I have pretty exciting news because I've partnered up with Skillshare to do a mini series about hand lettering. We are going to start this off with 2 videos, so in part 1 we are going to focus on hand lettering single words, and in the next video we will get a little more advanced and I will teach you how to combine different styles to one composition to make a full hand lettering art piece. I started hand lettering back in the beginning of 2017 at the same time that I started bullet journaling, and as you can see I've gotten quite a bit better at it, but today I still feel like there's a lot of room to improve, and that's why I'm using Skillshare. I know that YouTube is filled with tutorials, but once you got the basics covered it seems hard to find more advanced tutorials on here, and Skillshare is really great for that. So for those of you who still don't know about Skillshare, I feel like they've been all over YouTube lately, but Skillshare is an online platform filled with tutorials about design, business and basically anything. And you can do classes from beginner up to advanced and learning from the professionals. I have been using Skillshare for a couple of months now and I really like it. I use Skillshare to get better at hand lettering and illustrating. I also love to learn about composition and color theory to help me improve my spread designs, and I also use Skillshare to learn about business and growing my YouTube channel. I have a 2-month free trial link in the description for the first 500 people that sign up, and if you don't end up liking it you can cancel your subscription, and otherwise Skillshare is $10 a month. So let's get started with part 1 of the mini-series. The materials that you're going to need today is just a sheet of paper, a pencil and an eraser. A ruler can also help but is not needed, and maybe you want a fine liner to ink your artwork once it is finished. We are going to start this off with some basic typography theory here. I didn't go to any design school, so let me know if I'm wrong, but what I learned on Skillshare is that in the font world there are 3 main styles: serif, sans serif and script. With these typefaces as a basic, you can go be creative and design any hand lettering style that you want. The serif typeface can be recognized by its little feet. It is a traditional and vintage looking design. It is used a lot in books or other large printed pieces of text. Sans serif actually means without serif, so it doesn't have any feet. That makes the design look a lot cleaner and more modern. It is also found that sans serif is easier to read on screens. The last typeface is called script. It looks handwritten in a fluid single stroke, and it is mostly used for calligraphy and hand lettering. So when you are starting off with hand lettering, I recommend using guidelines. The first line is your baseline. This is the line where your letters start and sit on. Above that is your X height, which is the height of the letter X. All the small letters like an A and a C stay within these 2 lines. Down below you have your descender for your lower loops and an ascender for the high loops. So when we are looking at an all caps font, you only use 3 lines to show the start, the middle and the top of the letter. You can go ahead and play around with the spacing of these lines. For example, you can move the middle line up a little, or you can move it down. When you are writing in script, your letters are usually on an angle. To keep this consistent, it helps to write out a grid, just to keep the lines that normally would be straight parallel to the diagonal lines. So I showed you how to change up your vertical spacing, but you can of course also do this in the other direction by making your words wide or narrow. Use these tips to get a little more feeling with hand lettering, but when you get more advanced, go ahead and cross those guidelines and be creative. So now we know all the theory, let's decorate the letters. The first and mostly used method that I will show you is Vaux calligraphy. You create the illusion of calligraphy by thickening down your downstrokes. So first write out the word like you normally would, then go back to the lines you drew, starting at the top and going down. We will make these lines thicker by drawing a line next to it. Try to keep the spacing between these lines consistent through all your letters. The more horizontal the line gets, the less spacing you use. The last step is coloring in the space between these lines to make it look like real calligraphy. But instead of coloring it in, you can also decorate the space. You can keep it blank, add diagonal lines, dots or however you like. A tip I want to give you about Vaux calligraphy is to write out words a little wider than you are used to. You need this space to thicken your downstrokes, otherwise your words can look cramped and messy. Another way to decorate your lettering is by adding shadows. You start by picking the side where the sun would be, and you write your shadow on the opposite side of the letter. I normally use a light grey marker to do this, but you can also add a line shadow. This looks great when you are working in one color. I personally love this when using a chalkboard. Again, there are a lot of variations to add shadow, like stripes or dots. So now we've got our letters decorated, we can draw decorations around it. Very popular when hand lettering are banners. They are simple to draw by just starting with a simple rectangle. You draw a flag on both sides and connect them to the rectangle with a little swoop. While very simple to draw, you can easily make them look a little bit more interesting. Color in the parts in the back and also try to draw these a little bit smaller than the parts in the front to give the illusion of depth. Another simple way to decorate the lettering is by adding flags. Put each letter in a separate flag and make a cute birthday card. To fill up some empty space, you can add stars and sparkles. A star can be challenging to draw, so I normally go for the simplistic look and just add some sparkles. Connect them with lines to make a galaxy. I also love to add these splashes or more sparkles by just drawing lines and some dots. So that is the end of part 1. If you liked it, be sure to check out part 2 that will be up next week, and subscribe to make sure that you won't miss it. If you want to show me your hand lettering work, you can tag me on Instagram @esmehebing. I can't wait to see it, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye!